Hello everyone. It seems that word is getting out about the new look. Let me adjust the volume on this real fast. There we go. That seems a little bit better. But yeah, there is a new look. Also, as I transition over to this, you can see I have a little ticker at the top. If you guys want to see me go bar hopping this weekend, either tonight or tomorrow, $25 in super chats and or Streamlabs donations will get me out there. Reason why it's $25 is because YouTube, if you do super chats, keeps 30% of that. Also, I don't get it for 3 months, so keep that in mind. With the Streamlabs donations, I get that pretty much instantly, though it puts me at the mercy of chargebacks. Keep that in mind. But I guess I should go ahead and show the new look. Oh, and before I forget, if you guys want to make some public comments about what's going on and all that stuff, hop into Discord. Links in the description as usual, along with everything else. But I guess maybe I should go ahead and show my face real fast, because I definitely have a new look going on here. Might as well pull the headphones off for a moment. Oh, my hair is a little bit of a mess. Figures. But, okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and do the reveal. Yes, no beard. I look young again. The bearded stasis, the face stasis worked. So, yeah, I got a whole new look going on. Oops, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the cam here. But there you go. I'll have my face back up here in a little bit. But I figure I'd show that real fast. Yep. Oh, yeah. Let's see, 746 more people are watching an empty bald eagle's nest right now. Yeah, not surprising. Yeah, I look vastly different without the beard, don't I? And much younger. I appear now homeless for court. Holy shit, you look like an IT douchey. An IT douchey. Yeah, well, I do have a lot of training and experience in IT, so... Oh yeah, I definitely look like a different person. Maybe I'll grow it out again, I don't know. But for now, I'll keep it short. I just got back from the barber shop and all that. So I got it all cleaned up. But let's go ahead and get involved with today's stories. Oh, I thought I had the camera on for this. Oops. Let's see here. There we go. Oh. And turn that on so I can fix that. But as usual, we were listening to Technoax for our intro. Anybody hear what that baby was saying earlier? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Lucas. Yeah, quite the shocking change. But then again, I'm pretty well known for doing quite extreme changes in appearance just to throw people off. But I figure we go ahead and do a little bit of quick looking at some stuff in a live stream tonight. A closer look at a few instances that I touched upon earlier this week. And looking at some new stuff. And on top of that, I'm looking at filling in the void that Strategic Non-Compliance is leaving with the cutback to doing once a month. Okay. You're referring to the baby face, that appearance that I apparently have. At some point, this will all change. I will eventually get older. We all do. But I sort of want to cover a little bit on California Citizens Watch, or CCW for short, and some of my concerns with how things went. And I do have critiques. Now, as is, an IA report should not take an hour for an interview or anything like that. should take maybe about 20 minutes to 30 minutes at most, depending on how long the interaction was. Discord invite says invalid for you. That is strange. It should be good. Hold on. I'll create an instant invite again. Let's see here. Expires. No limit. Expires after never. Here, I'll go ahead and I've created a link and I'll post that into the chat. Oops. So that's coming in. And I'll just go ahead and sort of update that. Or at least put that in and or okay, so if you end up refreshing, there should be an update. No, it's the same link. So I'm not sure what's going on with the link there for you. Y7ZK6E. But yeah, if you want to hop in or whatever, I'll be able to pull you in for comments and all that stuff once you get Discord up and going. Family guys skit about beards. Abe Leakin and his cabinet were all talking, and one of the guy with no beard says something, and he's like, anyone understand what the baby just said? Okay, so that's where that came from. Okay. Okay, who made the late comment? Let me actually expand my chat box here so I can see that. Oh, dang it. Keep scrolling up faster. I gotta catch this comment real fast here. Oh, okay. Alzheimer's sucks. Okay, got it. That's who made that comment. Okay. But we're gonna go ahead and look into this. I'm gonna point out some issues, and the reason why this isn't super big, because the quality's crappy. They're inside a building, so obviously it's not gonna be great cell phone reception. But also keep an eye on the chat on the right hand side here, because the chat's actually fairly accurate of what should be happening here.
You offered a conclusion related to the officer's intent.
Okay, did I lose audio? Oh, hold on, guys. For some reason. Okay, I should have sound again. It turned off.
I haven't gotten anything from you that could be pieced together to form that conclusion. So you
put together what conclusion, sir?
You stated that the officer would have killed you. You haven't told me anything that would support that conclusion. So you need to provide detail. What was it that brought you to your conclusion? You said that the officer drew his firearm. Okay, drawing a firearm is an observation. You need to break down your observations so that I can understand how you came to your conclusion. Understand, I don't provide conclusions without supportive details. So,
Thank God I've got video documentation on this. Sergeant, now I don't want to be disrespectful, but your blue thin line ISIS thing is just getting fair, and everybody at this point is...
Okay. Now, I can understand the outrage and outbursts and the yelling and all that stuff directly after the incident on on the other day's video there. Sitting there recording yourself calling them blue ISIS and all this other stuff does not make you look good. And as you saw in the chat there, everybody's telling them, get out, walk away, end it now. You're giving too much information when you're sitting there doing this. Right now, what the officer's trying to do is poke holes in what he's in his perception. What needs to happen is you go in, you give the minimum information they need to be able to push that stuff, which is basically the facts of what happened. I walked up, I was filming, the cop came out, said, asked me what I was filming, and then started demanding I put down my camera, stating that he doesn't know what it is, despite the fact that he stated, "Oh, what are you filming?" And it's pretty clear he has at least a GoPro on a thing, on a little handle. And now someone pointed out to me the other day that clearly he has two cameras. CCW has two cameras, a body camera and the one in his hand. And so which one the officer asked, what is he filming? To me, obviously, it's going to be the one that's very prominent, the one in the hand. So the body camera, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like, is how obvious it is and all that stuff. And a lot of people saying he should not be doing this without having an attorney present. I sort of agree in this kind of situation. When the cops started to ask that kind of a question, at that point, it should have been, okay, I'm going to end this here. It's very clear that you are switching to an interrogation, poking holes, and I'm going to end this now. For any further statements, I submit my video as evidence of what happened, and that's about it. That's all that really needs to happen. And a lot of people were saying, hey, you're talking too much. And I have to agree. And we'll play a little bit more on this.
I don't even need to see the comments on this live stream right now. I'm telling you right now, everybody is questioning your authority at this point and asking these questions. Number one.
Questioning your authority. No. That doesn't look good. Not in front of a jury. I just want to point that out. If you're really wanting to push something, you gotta make it look good for the general public. And I don't know what to really say. This was pretty much a lot of squirming kind of stuff. And I posted this on Reddit yesterday saying, hey, this is going on. I didn't get a chance to really catch all of it because I was doing stuff. Now, let's see. I agree, BBI. It basically boils down to KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Yes. Actually, I mentioned that on my Discord. I learned that phrasing from an old college teacher at a community college, like almost 20 years. No, it wasn't 20 years. It was about 15 years ago, I think. But one commenter here on Reddit, he should not have conducted that interview without a lawyer present. The sergeant taking the complaint was only looking for information that could poke holes in the story. I don't see any benefit to the victim. And then other people was like, the lieutenant just admitted live stream. The officer drew his weapon, is on admin leave, which we do have that information corroborated from a news report from NBC 7 in San Diego. And so we're going to go ahead and look at that article. Let me check to see. And Viticus is in the public hangout, so I'm going to go ahead and pull him in real fast. And Viticus, I have pulled you into the live stream voice. So do you have a comment on what we've looked at so far? After you unmute yourself. You got yourself muted. Yeah, if not, you can always go ahead and unmute yourself here in a little bit once you get that figured out. And of course, you might be just tuning in on stuff, but I'll go ahead and read this article. Chime in when you want to. A San Diego Community College District police officer at Mesa College is on paid administrative leave after video posted on social media shows him pointing a gun at a photographer. The incident happened Wednesday on Armstrong Place, about a block from Mesa College campus. The video shows the photographer approaching a police vehicle and the officer who had pulled over a driver. The officer, identified as James Everett, sees the photographer and asks what is he filming for, which is the huge damning statement at the beginning. In addition to regular video camera, a photographer has a GoPro camera attached attached to the camera. Actually, it's a mounting device. It's a handle with a GoPro attached to it. The officer tells the photographer he doesn't know what the camera is. He orders the photographer to put the camera down. When the photographer refuses, the officer puts his hand in his holster. The photographer is then heard shouting at officers, telling him to take his hand off his holster. The photographer then puts the GoPro on the ground, but refuses to put the main camera, his main camera. The officer then points his weapon towards the photographer for about 20 seconds. Actually, I think this is sort of a misstatement because the guy doesn't put down the GoPro until after the officer points his gun at him. So this could be just a miscorroboration. I don't know how they type it up. Not sure what's wrong on your laptop. Okay, well, screw within the settings. It's the little gear thing right below, on the left-hand side where you see the rooms and all that stuff. The little gear next to your name on that same side. Click on that, check your voice settings and all that stuff. See what's going on. Also, the mute button's right in that same bar where your name's at. Alright, but back onto this. Let's see. For about 20 seconds, seconds later, the backup officers arrive. The sergeant, who eventually returns the GoPro, attempts to de-escalate this. Then the sergeant, who eventually returns the GoPro, attempts to de-escalate the situation, which, yeah, standing there and watching and just worrying about the car and all that stuff, that's pretty much the best thing that officer did, was just make sure nothing went further. He didn't even try to push anything. But definitely would have been, hey, give the guy the name and badge number. As quickly as possible would have been a good way to help de-escalate that further. Let's see. Community College District released a statement, and this is a statement from the police department. Videos has circulated of an incident involving San Diego Community College District police officer, which took place during the traffic stop near San Diego Mesa College, May 16th. The officer involved has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the internal investigation. The SDCCD takes any incident like this very seriously, will not comment on the incident until the internal investigation is concluded, which is pretty much par of the course for a standard statement out of the police department when you have something like this. Let's see here. Okay. But, okay, because I understand if you're just going to go ahead and listen. And then apparently they go ahead and throw down an award that he's won, which is somewhat part of the course. And then MB7 says they could not confirm the identity of the photographer, so they could not receive permission to use the video. It is posted on a YouTube link. So I'm not sure if this was done before or after an interview or whatever. I'm not sure who interviewed him. Who was it? Oh, it's ABC7 that did the interview. But we'll go ahead and see about pulling up ABC7 real fast. 7. We'll cover this real quickly. Southern California. And let me make it where this is viewable. I gotta unblock the scripts. There we go. And I can actually start using the search features. This is the handy thing with Brave here. I'll just type in Mesa. Costa Rica DUI. I don't actually see a thing about an officer. Okay, so they don't have an article up yet, but they did do an interview on that, or at least they interviewed him for a news broadcast. But that's pretty much what I had to put in. What are your guys' thoughts in the chat about this? I see quite a few of you people saying, yeah, should have talked too much on that issue. Let's see. Don't think it aired yet on 10. Okay. Donate to the death of Bunny's liver and our weekend entertainment. He needs weekend drink money. Yes. Yes, if you want to see me go out drinking, as is the bar at the top of the screen there is the bar, bar hopping money tip there. So you want to see me go out and drink and watch cops arrest people and stuff like that this weekend? Throw in money on that, because as is the other $20 that I got reserved for going out and doing that for this month, the second for, because I try to set it up where I at least have funds to do it twice a month. I'm reserving for Memorial Day weekend, which is next weekend. Not to mention also the pool opens up at my place. Another school shooting in Clayton, Georgia. I heard there was also a shooting in Texas. I am not sure what's all going on that stuff. I woke up like around 5 o'clock and I went to the barbershop and I came back and started live streaming. So I am out of the loop on all that stuff. I will have to do some further research on that and reading up. Not everybody is shocked by a shaved face. And not to mention also it was shown on my other channel early on Monday. And one in Illinois yesterday. Quite interesting. Yeah, I'll have to do some reading up on all that stuff. Anyway, the other thing, which I've deemed more important, is the incident that happened with First Amendment Strike Team over there in Colorado. Now, this video was taken down that night, the night that it came out. It was taken down for bullying and harassment. Thank goodness a few people have mirrored it, and First Amendment Strike Team was quickly to say, everyone near this needs no permission. And I covered it on my channel and all that stuff. It got out there. Now, this is a very big incident. This one, I think, warrants just as much attention as the other one. Because I was talking with a person that knows a little bit more about the legal side of stuff. And they confirmed that, yes, what happened was a violation of the Fourth Amendment in their opinion. Let's see. You want shock? My balls look way different when shaved or not. That is true. Everybody's balls look different when shaved or not. You're the only young one, Spunny Boots saying, look young while you can. The real Bunny Boots, he's in the closet behind you, behind the camera here. He's not going to come out for quite some time. I've drugged and beat him. Don't worry about him, Lady Bird. He will be alive. I will make sure they will not have to, we won't have to do any major force feedings or anything like that. He seems to be eating. But this looks like he managed to get the video back up, which is a good thing. But the only reason a video gets taken down for bullying and harassment is if someone flags it. YouTube doesn't go around looking for this stuff. No, people gotta flag it. So that means someone targeted this video and probably knows the police or knows the officers involved in this situation or has ties with law enforcement, I'm betting. But it's very clear what happens in here is very wrong. And I'm glad it's documented. I hope there's a complaint filed. I hope there's an attorney being seeked on this issue of what happened. Because there should have been no need to search him. He was not detained for any reason. He called the cops there. The cops said, we're not going to take the report, and we're walking away, and he decided to go ahead and frisk him because he had his hands in his pockets. No, that is not right. That is, in fact, probably very illegal, too, in my opinion. I flagged a video and nothing happened. No, when you flag videos, it doesn't happen from the first flag. It requires multiple people flagging it. And so, depending on the size of the channel and all that stuff, and how many people that are viewing something, will dictate how many flags it takes to get it pulled down. Now, let's see here. What's the size? He's got 3.4K subscribers. And this video had maybe about a couple hundred views. You could probably knock it down with 5 to 10 flags. That can be done with 5 to 10 accounts, maybe varying the IP address using a Tor client or a VPN. One person can knock down a video for a channel, something on a channel this small. Now, when you start reaching into the tens of thousands of subscribers, where you have thousands of views for each video or something like that, now you're starting to require about 50, maybe 100 people to flag something to get it knocked down. And that sort of varies depending on just where that is at. Also, is it with an MCN? There's a lot of variables on what it takes to knock out a video through content ID, well, not content ID, through terms of service violations or community service violations. And yeah, I do agree, Southern Illinois Public Observers. She was bullied him because I think she just did not want to take that report. Once she realized, okay, yeah, it's someone there. And at one point, let's go ahead and play this back here. Let's see, it was roughly right about here. Listen closely.
That's all. Do me a favor, though, keep your hand out of your pocket.
I'm not going to do that. I'm the one making the complaint.
No, that's fine, but for officer safety, I'm going to ask you to keep your hands out of your pocket.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So you can either take my complaint with my hand in my pocket or not take it.
Okay, then we're not taking it.
But,
Thank you, sir.
okay.
You hear that noise? You hear that noise? That's the sound of plastic impacting with concrete. Let's back that up, shall we?
Okay, then we're not taking it.
But,
Thank
okay,
you, sir.
and what are your names?
Let's slow that down.
Then we're not taking it.
Okay.
As she's walking away. Okay, we're not going to take your complaint. Okay, fine. You can file it through like electronic means or just go in and hand in paperwork for that. Now, this lady really ticked me off.
And what are your names? What's your name?
It's
Della
Fuente. Keep your hands out of your pocket.
No, take your hands off me.
No, it's
He's not a suspect, lady. You don't have any right to sit there and tell him to pull his... Well, you have a right to ask him to not have his hands in his pocket, but you can't tell him to pull his hands out of his pocket. You guys were leaving.
Take your hands off me right now!
Okay.
Take your hands off! No! Get the fuck off
I
me!
know what's in there.
Get off
I'm
me!
gonna pat
You
you
better
down,
take
sir.
the fuck off!
The pat down, I'm pretty sure was very illegal. Hey, Blue Ghost Media.
Get the fuck off! Call everybody get back the fuck up! No!
I'm just gonna pat
No! You're not gonna pack. We're on my property!
Just hold on a second.
Okay, let's skip this to the other important part.
I'm gonna hold on to this until we leave, okay?
No.
We're going to hold on to this until we leave. Okay, what stopped you? You could drop the cell phone on the ground, but you're not going to drop the knife?
You're leaving now. Get the fuck off my property. Drop my knife.
Okay.
Drop my property.
Can you step back so I can...
No, I'm not. It's my property.
You guys are now trespassing. He's told you to leave and to leave his property behind. Other people were sort of pointing this out also on Reddit. She was so concerned for officer safety, she would never have turned her back on him. So bogus. Yes, I agree. That was actually going to be something else I was going to point out, Lady Bird, is the fact that she initially just turned her back on him and was walking away. Clearly, he was not a threat. He wanted just to get her name so that way he can say, yeah, this officer did not want to take my report.
Okay. I asked you.
Give me my knife and get the fuck out of here.
That's
now.
fine.
Now, when it comes down to this, oh yeah, and Crash123, he made made sure to post a mirror, and that's a big reason why at the top here it says mirror in the comments, because it's taken down. But this comment is very telling. Trinidad Police Department, non-emergency, all this stuff. Failure to take complaint, battery witness, blah blah. It is your right to seek redress. Edit, as of 1 p.m. May 17th, I am yet to speak with a real person regarding this event. Has anyone been successful in contacting them yet? I suspect only a few people might have gotten through, and literally they're allowing a lot of this stuff to go to voicemail, or they're saying Let's say you're calling a non-emergency number, they're just saying you got to call this or something like that. He's pissed. Yeah, I don't blame him either. I would be pissed too. Ed Hartgrove, you really want to go Mr. Burns on it. Release the hounds. But yeah, I'm glad the dogs actually weren't hurt in that situation there. But I'm probably going to end up making a phone call to this police department next week and see if I can get further information on exactly what the hell is going on with that one. Russell, I'm banned from commenting. Do they even have a Facebook page? Because they have an unofficial Facebook page here. This is an unofficial one. This is not one that's ran by the police department. At best, you can just leave reviews, and that's about it. This is not maintained or managed by them. And actually, we'll go ahead and click on this because this should lead to their government page. Okay, whoops. I didn't want to hit archive there. Come on. Let's shorten this up and see about, I don't think they have any social media, to be honest. I might have to unblock scripts with this one. Pay bill events, maps, alerts. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that indicates the city has social media presence on their main page. Utility bills, complaints. Public safety, police blotter. Yeah, I'm not seeing much in here for all that. Let's see, if it's run by them, they can't do that. Yeah, when it comes to, it's not direct, since it's not an official page by the police department, they can't really ban anybody on that part. Yeah, they have a web page, but they don't have a Facebook page, at least from what I've seen so far. But this one is definitely one that we want to keep our eyes on. I do see this one being a major push for. This should be a major push on doing a lawsuit, in my opinion. Yeah, they don't have an official Facebook page, Blue Ghost Media. So if you're not able to comment on that unofficial page, there's something else. There's some other reason why it's happening. Now, let's go ahead and look at some other interesting stuff here. This one's quite interesting. Judicial Watch scores a new victory for 76-year-old veteran criminally prosecuted for allegedly taking photos of American flags at Veterans Affairs facility. This is released by Judicial Watch, and this is a very interesting story. Yeah, it is a very. I'm guessing it would be a small town over there just because of the way the website looks. Let's see here. Judicial Watch today announces that the U.S. District Court for Central District of California has affirmed a U.S. magistrate's judge's of April 11th, 2017 dismissal of criminal charges against Judicial Watch client Robert L. Rosebrock, who was prosecuted for allegedly taking unauthorized photographs of American flags at the entrance to a park on a Los Angeles VA campus. Let's see, and they cite United States of America v. Robert L. Rosebrook. And maybe Murbies can actually do coverage on this one. This one might be quite interesting. Are you allowed to use the name of a company and get away with it? I don't think so. Nope. The magistrate judge ruled that Rosebrook in Rosebrook's favor on First Amendment grounds. The district court affirmed the magistrate judge's dismissal of the charges, but held that the plain language of the regulation under Rosebrook was prosecuted, did not prohibit unauthorized news photography anywhere on VA property. The charges stemmed from allegations that Rosebrook took unauthorized photographs of American flags and unauthorized video of VA police on Memorial Day of 2016 on Sunday, June 12, 2016. In rejecting the VA photography/video charges, U.S. Magistrate Judge Steve Kim ruled that the regulation also applied to West LA's VA Los Angeles National Veterans Park, was not reasonable and under even the most lenient First Amendment standards. Rosebrook also was acquitted after trial on April 18, 2017, on further criminal charges for allegedly displaying a napkin-sized American flag on a fence at the park's entrance on Memorial Day 2016. Interesting. So he has other issues specifically at this location. Hey, Pot. Yeah, it's been shaved down by quite a bit. I'm gonna take a drink here. Yep. At best, that you can use it to leave a review. It's just like Google review pages for businesses. It's not an official one that's managed by that company or anything like that. The VA refused to accept the magistrate's ruling and appealed to the district court. Among the arguments the Judicial Watch lawyers made in defense of the charges was that the VA official sought to retaliate against Rosebrook for his long-standing criticism of the VA for what he considers to be violations of the terms governing the use of the land on which West LA VA facility is located. Since 2008, Rosebrook and a small group of supporters have assembled nearly every Sunday and Memorial Day at the Great Gate entrance to the Los Angeles National Veterans Park to protest the VA's failure to make full use of the property to benefit veterans, particularly homeless veterans. For years, the VA has allowed land on the campus to be used for a variety of non-veteran related purposes, including a baseball stadium for the University of California Los Angeles baseball team, athletic fields for a private prep school, and City of Los Angeles dog park. I have a problem with this middle one here. Athletic fields for private prep school. I hope they're paying for it. Will you be drinking and eating pizza tonight? I don't know. God, brother. I am waiting for donations. I have put up a little bar at the top of the screen, if you noticed, that specifically points out that I'm raising money for going bar hopping this weekend. It's $25. That's all I'm asking for. $25 in super chats or Streamlabs donations. That allows you to go ahead and make a comment or whatever. I'll go out and bar hop. I will go out bar hop either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how late it gets. It might end up tomorrow with how late. We're past 9 o'clock right now. I would need to take a shower and change clothes, because I'm a little bit sweaty. I was out cycling to get to the barber shop and all that stuff. VA only cares about high-ranking retired officers. Yeah, because they can have the most connections and can raise a bigger stink. Yeah, but if the city deletes the comments on their webpage, they can be sued for can be sued. If it's unofficial, how is that going to work? Yeah, you can't. It's unofficial. It's not theirs. I'm not sure if you. I'm surprised you guys are still debating that issue. It's an unofficial. It's not controlled by them. So if Facebook wants to delete your comments on it, it's not an official forum. That's how it works out with that issue. Although the district court did not address the VA officials' motives in pursuing criminal charges against Rosebrook, its ruling leads the credence to the claim that Rosebrook was selectively and vindictively prosecuted for his weekly protests. Now, I am not sure on that specific statement. This seems a little bit more of a reporter's bias because he is affiliated with this website. On that issue. And I don't really see anything that corroborates or adds to, that will lead credits to that without having to do further research. The beard hair is still in the bathroom toilet trash can if you want me to go and retrieve it, but I'm not interested in doing that. Along with other stray hairs and all that stuff. Further evidence of retaliatory motive is the recent revelation of fraud high up at the Great Los Angeles VA facility. Now, yeah, I've heard about fraud issues with some VA facilities, and I'm pretty sure there was something going on with one of the facilities in Los Angeles. Though, how should I put it? That's it through news reports, and that was last year. I'm not sure if that's still an ongoing issue right now or what's going on with investigations. The Return Service League here in Australia doesn't give a fuck about veterans. All it cares about is pantomimes and Anzac Day, and collecting as much drink and gaming machine revenue as they can. I'm guessing that's sort of equivalent to an ANVEX over here in the United States, which is also a veterans thing, a veterans organization. I think you could be banned if you break the rules. Yeah, you could be banned from commenting on Facebook if you keep violating the rules to some extent. Though I don't even know how most of that system works because I refuse to use Facebook outside of key communications. The VA prosecuted Rosebrook for his advocacy. The outrageous criminal charges against him have since been shown to lack any factual or legal basis, said Judicial Watch President Tom Fulton. President Trump should ask who the VA and DOJ are responsible for this reprehensible effort to jail our client for exercising his First Amendment rights. And here's the thing. While I do have my criticisms of Trump, there is one prediction I have stated quite often since before he got elected. If he gets elected, law enforcement's egos are going to shoot up and we're going to start seeing increase in arrests. We're starting to sort of see that here. Though this specific arrest here happened back in 2016 before, well, yeah, let's see, we've been in 2000, before the election. Yeah, so it was definitely before the election happened. So just keep that in mind. But we could probably see more issues with VA places too, on top of that. And there's VA clinics near almost every major large population center. I think they usually have a tendency to put them in places where there's more than 350, well, at least more than 100,000 people. There should be at least one clinic. And for those of you who want to do a First Amendment test or auditing, there's another target. Film from a public sidewalk, film that place. See what happens. That's my recommendation. That's something that hasn't really been done much. Tries to drain the VA swamp. You'll get those holier-than-thou people who belt on the "I was in the military, how dare you disrespect the uniform and discredit him." Yes, it is a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation with that issue. When it comes to dealing with the VA. And there is, in my opinion, there's probably a decent amount of corruption and lethargy within the workers of the VA. And it's going to take a lot of work to get that dealt with. And a lot of people that depend on VA healthcare, like myself personally, see a lot of problems with it. And I've dealt with my problems with the VA healthcare. When, in fact, actually there's great video evidence where the VA head honcho there, I think it's chairman or president or whatever, or director, he showed up in Alaska and did town hall meetings. And I recorded one of those town hall meetings. And it was pretty much a verbal ass chewing from the audience in general. And it was like that at all the events. and a lot of people turned up. There was only 3 events, and Alaska's a big state, and a lot of people turned up at each event. And there was improvements, and he sat there and took the criticism and all that stuff. And I do give credit for the guy that stood up there and took the verbal lashing. But just being the proverbial the rubber chewing steak for the hounds doesn't help much without action. Now, there's been some improvements with Alaska, though I can't really say there has been, overall great improvements in general. Now, this is another one that is even further interesting that I'm going to cover here. Homeless man jailed for 3 months after trying to pay Burger King with a $10 bill. File suit. This is brought to you by NBC News. This comes out of Boston. Let's see. DVA in Australia did fuck all for Vietnam vets until the mid-2000s. Yeah, well, similar happened over here in the United States too, Godbrother. A lot of the veterans that came back from the Vietnam War didn't really get much treatment and help until, I think it was the 80s is really when that started shifting around, if I remember correctly. I could be recalling that wrong. It might have been the 90s. Let's see, veterans, they would have take some $42 billion in foreign aid they spend per year and use some of that for veterans. Well, in Leviticus, it's not just throwing money at the problem. There's a lot of inefficiencies within the system. It's just like a good example. Washington, D.C. spends huge amounts of money in their school district, but it's the lowest performing school district, city, when it comes to students and education-wise. Now, where the inefficiencies with how that money is being spent is a big question at that point, because there is a certain amount of efficiency that you're supposed to expect out of government spending. And we do throw a lot of money at the military, and we throw a lot of money at the VA healthcare. And those are 2 prime examples of how the system is very inefficient and costs way more money than it should. The military-industrial complex explains for quite a bit when it comes to the military. With the VA, I think it's more of lethargy with the kinds of people that get hired in and how the government working and all that stuff works. Because when you get a government job, it gets really hard, especially a federal government job, it becomes really hard to get fired from it. And not to mention unions and all that other stuff that's involved with it. But let's go ahead and cover more about this homeless guy who's tried to pay, who was arrested for trying to pay for his meal. A black homeless man in Boston was hungry, so he went to Burger King one morning in 2015, but instead of breakfast, Elis got a ride to the police station and more than 3 months in jail after he was wrongfully accused of using counterfeit cash, he says. Now, the question is why was he in jail for 3 months? We're going to go ahead and cover, it's going to get even further interesting. He's suing. Elis' attorney said that the cashier lawsuit states on the heels of police being called on a black person, people have sparked uproar. Okay, another racial profiling. Let's see, cashier probably would not have apologized. Okay, well, you'll start here. Elis' attorney said the cashier likely wouldn't have questioned the money if it was real, if a white man in a suit handed him the same bill. Even if he did, the cashier probably would have apologized and said he could not accept the cash instead of calling the police attorney, the attorney states. A person like me, in quotes, a person like me would have gotten an apology, but a person like Emery somehow finds his way into handcuffs trying to pay for his breakfast with real money, says the attorney. A Burger King Corp spokesman said the company does not tolerate discrimination of any kind, but cannot comment on the specifics of the case. The company said the franchise is responsible for employee training and handling legal matters about the location. See, named the complaint, found public records, wasn't immediately clear. Elis was arrested November 15th and charged with forgery of a banknote. His arrest triggered a probation violation and was held without bail until his final probation violation hearing, according to the lawsuit. He was released from jail February 2016 when prosecutors dropped the forgery charges after Secret Service concluded Elis' bill was real, and the lawsuit says. Now, it makes me really wonder what kind of dollar bill that was being used. Because when it comes down to at least the $5 banknotes, is these two different ones? No. Okay. So I got a newer note. And this one was printed off 2013. Let me go ahead and switch this over to the other camera here. And let's see, pull this up here so I can see it. Now, okay, as you can see, with these notes, they got a lot of stuff that watermarking that prevents it from being easy to counterfeit. And usually counterfeits are just someone that prints it off and through a printer, piece of paper. It's going to have a different texture because this is a fabric. This is not paper. They run it through maybe a dryer or whatever, make it feel loose, and then they try to pass it off with other stuff. Passing off counterfeit currency while it's by itself usually doesn't work well. The best time to pass off counterfeit currency is with other bills. And I highly doubt a homeless guy is going to have the ability to make counterfeit currency. Chances are he would probably be a victim if it was counterfeit. But, I mean, as you could tell, there's watermarks built within these things. It would be fairly easy even for the cops to sit there and hold this up to a light. They'd sit there and just hold it up to light, look through. Okay, does it have the normal watermarks? Okay, I don't think this is grounds for a thing. So I do agree that there should, this lawsuit definitely needs to go through because I think there was bias. There was some sort of bias in this. Whether it's racial, whether it's because of class, because he's poor, he's homeless. It's hard to say. The courts will have to obviously figure that one out. But it's fairly easy in most cases to see when something's counterfeit. Let's see. Elis, 37, never got his money back, the lawsuit states. Now, that is also a big problem. They took the money and never returned it. That's his property. Now, I can understand, okay, they can't return the exact same bill, but at least pay him his damn money back that you took. So he can go and get his Burger King when he gets out. Nobody deserves to be treated that way. Emery was treated. The lawsuit comes weeks after. Okay, that's referring to that whole Starbucks incident a couple weeks ago, which caused a huge bunch of hoopla. If it was so easy to determine if it was good or bad, they needed Secret Service to confirm it. Yeah, that oftentimes, I rarely see counterfeits that are done well where you'd think they would literally pass for real cash. And when you take a really close look at them. Most counterfeits, and with the higher bills, the $5 bill, oh no, the $5 bill does have it. I was looking for it earlier. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to switch this back to the big cam. Hey, Merbeast, nice to see you in there. Transition this back. Okay, I'm also going to point out something that's going to be a big giveaway if something is going to be counterfeit or not. Okay, flashlight. Let's get it to the right spot so you guys can see this. Oh, okay. Is it too bright? It might be too bright. Might be too bright. Okay. Let me get a little bit closer here. But okay, you can see it now. You see that bar. You see that bar in the dollar bill. A counterfeit note is not going to have that bar woven into it. The biggest and surefire giveaway if the bill you have is counterfeit or not is going to be this bar embedded in the bill itself. You're going to do a counterfeit. Why do a 10? Well, because it's easier to hand off the lower denomination cash. And while you don't make money, there's all kinds of ways. I do study and think about the ways of getting away with things. Yeah, well, yeah, this is a $5 bill. I don't have a $10 bill. But if the $5 bill has it, the $10 bill has it, I know a $20 bill has it. Do I have any higher bills in here? A $5 bill on up. No, I don't have any higher bills. Oh, crap. I have a few more of these Monopoly codes. Oh, I'm going to have to check that out and see if I got any winners on that. Oh, that reminds me. I got to put those codes in before the end of the night. But, yeah. It's fairly easy. The cops should have been able to determine that fairly quickly. It's common knowledge. It doesn't take much. One doesn't have it. The $1 bill doesn't have it. Yeah, you didn't even need to use tweezers. You just had to use a flashlight to figure that out. So that police department is definitely in trouble. I do see grounds for a lot. I mean, for this lawsuit to really go through with this, and the fact that the arrest triggered a probation violation, he's stuck in jail for nearly for several months on that. They all have coke on them. They're all higher bills. Oh, critical look. Speaking of coke and all that stuff, I think I remember covering this a couple weeks back, or a month or two ago, where they're coming out with tests specifically about what was it? They're coming out with tests that can detect trace amounts of drugs on your fingertips. And since apparently all currency has some sort of like trace amount of cocaine or other drug residue on them, couldn't that possibly trigger? I'm handled this dirty dollar bill and all that stuff. I just got it from someone not washing their hands. It may have came from someone that's sniffed drugs with it or whatever, or it's been around drugs on your hand, and then you get your fingerprint tested for a drug, a trace amount, and it picks it up. Oh boy. Yeah, that's some potential issues right there. In Zimbabwe, it's cheaper to use cash to wipe your ass than to buy toilet paper. Oh, so true with the economic issues going on in those other locations. But it looks like we have not gotten any money for today, so maybe I'll do a live stream tomorrow, see if we'll raise money for bar hopping tomorrow. I'll cover some more stuff that's going on. I've been live streaming for an hour. I have yet to eat today, and I need to go make myself food, and it's like near 10 o'clock. Well, it's about 9:30. Well, 9:35 my time frame. And so I guess I need to sort of start setting up an outro music and all that stuff. Unless, Merbius, you got something you want to add in or anything like that. Coke and fecal matter. Yep. Dollar bills are probably one of the most disgusting things you could probably be handling. In fact, they may be even cleaner than the toilet in your bedroom or in your house. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, guys, if you got all that fun stuff. And I think I'll find another song. Well, I'll probably just go... Do I want to use music or... I'm trying to think here. How do I want to do my out? Well, I'm sitting here and fumbling through my windows. Let's see here. Oh, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead with this one since it's a good night. Okay, you got nothing? Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tune out with Libya on going out music here, and you guys will have a chance to chat and all that fun stuff. And where is my... I had an end screen. Where'd it go? Huh. I guess I don't have my end screen up and going. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the music off, and I'll see you guys around on the internet, and I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow or something like that. So you guys have fun.
Thank you.